Imagine controlling so much wealth that you could buy Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft, and still have trillions left over. Now imagine being so powerful that kings and presidents bow to your will, yet so secretive that most people don't even know you exist. This isn't fiction. This is the story of the Rothschild family, the true titans of wealth who make Elon Musk look like a mere millionaire in comparison. What if I told you that while Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk battle for the title of world's richest person with their measly hundreds of billions, there's a family whose wealth is measured in trillions, $20 trillion to be exact. That's $20,000 billion. Or to put it another way, enough money to end world hunger 66 times over. But here's the real kicker. You've probably never heard their name mentioned alongside today's billionaires, and that's exactly how they want it. But to understand how one family accumulated more wealth than entire nations, we need to go back, way back, to a small Jewish ghetto in Frankfurt, Germany, where in 1744, a boy named Meyer Amschel Rothschild was born into poverty. And what happened next would change the course of history forever. The rise from nothing. Picture this. Frankfurt's Jewish quarter, 1744. A cramped, walled ghetto where Jewish residents were locked in at night. This is where our story begins. Not in a palace, not in a mansion, but in a house so small it was literally called the Green Shield, because of the sign that hung outside to help people find it in the crowded alley. Young Meyer Amschel Rothschild could have been just another face in that ghetto. Instead, he would go on to build the most powerful banking dynasty the world has ever seen. But how? What was so special about this one boy from the ghetto? The answer lies in a chance encounter that would alter the course of history. The prince's coins. When Meyer was just 11 years old, tragedy struck. Both his parents died from a smallpox outbreak, leaving him an orphan. But sometimes, the greatest setbacks lead to the greatest comebacks. The young orphan went to Hanover to apprentice at a banking house, and this is where fate stepped in. You see, the banking house had a very special client, Crown Prince Wilhelm of Hesse. And young Meyer had a very special talent, an encyclopedic knowledge of rare coins. The Crown Prince was a collector, and Meyer's expertise caught his attention. But here's what nobody could have predicted. This relationship would later save not just the Rothschild family, but potentially the entire European monarchy. The 5 Arrows strategy. Fast forward to 1770. Meyer is back in Frankfurt, married, and has started his own banking business. But his real genius? His 5 sons. And what he did with them would change banking forever. Picture a hand with 5 fingers. Now imagine each finger as an arrow, pointed at a different European financial center. This was Meyer's master plan. He sent each of his sons to a different major European city. Nathan to London, James to Paris, Salomon to Vienna, Karl to Naples. Amschel stayed in Frankfurt. But here's the brilliant part. While other banks were limited by borders and communication delays, the Rothschild brothers created their own private communication network. Using carrier pigeons, coded letters, and a network of trusted couriers, they could share information and move money faster than anyone else. Think of it as the world's first private Bloomberg terminal, in an age when most people relied on horses and sailing ships for news. The Battle of Waterloo Coup. Now, let me tell you about the day the Rothschilds made one of the greatest financial coups in history. It's 1815 and Europe is holding its breath. Napoleon Bonaparte, the feared French emperor, faces off against the Duke of Wellington at Waterloo. The London Stock Exchange is tense. Everything depends on who wins this battle. And this is where Nathan Rothschild, the brother in London, pulls off something extraordinary. Thanks to their private communication network, Nathan received news of Wellington's victory before anyone else in London. But instead of immediately buying stocks, he did something unexpected. He started selling. Other traders, seeing the great Nathan Rothschild selling, panicked and followed suit. The market crashed, and that's when Nathan struck, buying up everything at rock-bottom prices. When the official news of victory finally arrived, the stocks soared, and the Rothschilds' wealth multiplied overnight. But here's the thing many people don't know. this famous story. It's actually disputed by historians. But what's undisputed is that the Rothschilds did have the best information network in Europe. And they did make a fortune during this period. The power behind thrones. By the 1820s, the Rothschilds weren't just rich, they were essentially the world's central bank. They lent to kings, financed wars, and funded the Industrial Revolution. Here's a mind-blowing fact. By the mid-1800s, the Rothschild family's wealth was so vast that they were worth more than all the other banks in Europe combined. Let that sink in for a moment. But with great wealth came great controversy. And this is where our story takes a darker turn. The conspiracy theories. The Rothschilds' immense wealth and influence have made them the subject of countless conspiracy theories. Some claim they control all the world's central banks. Others say they manipulate global events for profit. But here's the truth. While many of these theories are baseless, the reality of the Rothschilds' influence is actually more fascinating than the fiction. The real power moves. Let's talk about what the Rothschilds actually did, because the truth is incredible enough. They helped finance Britain's purchase of the Suez Canal, changing global trade routes forever. They funded the creation of the State of Israel through the purchase of land in support of Jewish settlements. They financed the construction of Europe's railways, literally laying the tracks for the Industrial Revolution. But perhaps their greatest achievement? Surviving. While other powerful families lost their fortunes through war, revolution, or bad investments, the Rothschilds adapted and thrived. The modern dynasty. So where are the Rothschilds now? Why don't we see them on Forbes' billionaire lists? The answer lies in their greatest strength: privacy. The family's wealth is spread across hundreds of heirs and countless private holdings. Their true net worth? Estimated at around $20 trillion, though the exact figure is impossible to verify. To put that in perspective, that's more than the GDP of the United States. More than all the gold ever mined in human history. More than the combined market cap of all cryptocurrency. The hidden empire. Today's Rothschild empire includes N.M. Rothschild and Sons, London. Edmund de Rothschild Group, Geneva. Rhett Capital Partners. Multiple private banks, vast real estate holdings, art collections worth billions. Vineyards producing some of the world's finest wines. Technology investments, and countless other assets hidden from public view. But perhaps their most valuable asset is their name itself. In banking circles, the Rothschild name still opens doors that remain closed to everyone else. The current generation of Rothschilds is doing something their ancestors might not have expected. They're slowly stepping into the public eye. Take Alexandre de Rothschild, who now heads the family's French financial arm, or James Rothschild, who married Nikki Hilton, bringing old money and new fame together. But don't be fooled. This is still a family that prizes privacy above all. For every Rothschild you hear about, there are dozens who prefer to remain in the shadows, quietly managing their portion of the family fortune. As we look to the future, the Rothschild story teaches us something profound about wealth and power. While tech billionaires make headlines with their space races and Twitter takeovers, the true titans of wealth operate in silence. The family's current estimated worth of $20 trillion isn't just a number. It's a testament to a 200-year-old strategy of quiet influence over loud showmanship. So what's the real lesson of the Rothschild story? Is it about the power of family unity, the importance of information networks, the value of discretion? Perhaps it's all of these things. But maybe the most important lesson is this: the greatest power doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes the most influential people in the world are the ones you've never heard of. The next time you hear about the world's richest people, remember this: the names you know might not be the names that matter. And somewhere, in elegant offices and quiet boardrooms, the descendants of that orphan boy from Frankfurt are still moving the pieces on the global chessboard. If this video opened your eyes about true wealth and power, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. You won't want to miss our next deep dive into the hidden stories that shape our world.